You had tweeted out saying, "We're not finished." Yeah. What does that mean?
Well, a number of questions I've gotten is what next as it relates to the Murdaugh case. It's like people don't want this to end for whatever reason. But obviously there were 99 charges, financial crime charges, because I mean he's been doing a lot of bad things for a long period of time that through the course of our investigation, not just involving the murder, but involving the trust that people place in him and how he lied and manipulated to so many other people. So my position on that is everyone that he stole from and everyone that he lied to and that was harmed by his actions, they deserve their day in court too. So we're going to pursue those charges to their logical end and hold him accountable, regardless of whether he's in prison for life or not. People deserve to have their day in court, and we're going to give those victims an opportunity to be heard in court as well. Obviously, there's an appellate process. His attorneys have signaled, and this is part of our system of justice. You know, when you're convicted, you have a right to file various appeals, and those can go as far as the court will allow them to. This office is charged with defending the appeals of Alex Murdaugh, and we're going to defend them all the way to the Supreme Court if necessary.
In pursuing these financial crime charges, we watched Alex Murdaugh sit on the stand and admit to a lot of them. Can you just pull up that video and say, here he is on the stand admitting to it, here he is on the stand admitting to it? We are certainly aware of what he said on the stand, and obviously we're going to use everything to our advantage as we move forward that we can. So you plan to use it against him?
We're going to use everything that we can legally under the rules of court to hold him accountable for what he did. Another
case too that's getting a lot of attention connected to Alex Murdaugh, his name kept coming up in this investigation, the death of Stephen Smith. Back in 2015, found on the side of the road. Are you going to be involved in that investigation? Because SLED has confirmed they have reopened the case based on new evidence that was discovered in connection to the murders of Maggie and Paul.
What I can tell people is this office will always pursue the truth of any case that is open and being investigated, and whatever evidence is determined from that investigation, it will be assessed and evaluated, and we will pursue it if we at all possibly can. I'm obviously not going to comment on a pending case, but what I can tell people is that if we have the ability to prove a crime beyond a reasonable doubt to a jury of peers, then we're going to pursue that in a court of law. If we don't have the ability to prove something beyond a reasonable doubt, we'll continue to investigate or work with law enforcement until it can be determined that we can or can't ever prove it. So that's really all I can say about a pending case.
Can you elaborate on any evidence at all that was discovered? Okay. Stephen Smith's family has released a statement saying that they are putting so much trust in your office. What kind of weight is that for a family to say, we see that justice was served for Maggie and Paul, and we hope the same can be done for Stephen?
Like everyone else, I've seen some of these shows, the documentaries on this, and obviously I'm familiar with what happened because we've, obviously looked at it legally. I have nothing but compassion for that family, Stephen's family, and it's horrible what happened to that young man. And so they obviously, from the bottom of my heart, I have nothing but compassion for them. What I can say as a prosecutor is that we will work with law enforcement to evaluate the evidence and to pursue it as far as it will take us. And if we can prove something beyond a reasonable doubt, we will bring it up in a court of law. I don't want to mismanage expectations. I don't want to make an assertion here today that this will happen or that will happen, because I don't think that's fair to people to get their hopes up. All I can tell them is we will never stop looking as long as there's evidence to be seen, heard, or found.
Are you able to confirm or anything, is there an open investigation, Buster Murdaugh?
I'm not going to comment on anything that possibly could be pending or not pending, and I'm not going to say that there is. I just don't want to feed the rumor mill. Like I said, everybody wants to see us go down rabbit holes. We're going to work with our law enforcement partners, and we're going to evaluate information and evidence as it comes to light through those investigations, and we'll act appropriately in accordance with that.
The Murdaugh family had been in power for a long time. How far back will these investigations go?
Again, I can't answer an unknown like that. I will remind people this. This family is also a victim. Everyone wants to say because of their last name that they were involved, but there are a lot of people in this family other than just Alec and Buster and some of these others you've heard about. And I have compassion for any victim of any crime. And this is a very sensational case. It's captured the imagination of the world, of the nation, certainly the state of South Carolina. But at the end of the day, people were brutally, savagely murdered that night. A wife and a son were murdered by someone that they loved and someone that they trusted. And that same individual hurt a lot of other people in that community. And I know that people want to keep talking about it, and they want to, they want to talk about the movies and the docuseries and all the things that are coming out. But lives were destroyed. A community was upended. And we can talk about it in a kind of a cavalier way, and I know people do. It's coffee shop talk. I get that. But at the end of the day, real lives are destroyed, and I don't want to add to that. I don't want to feed that. I want to show that family the level of respect that they deserve, as I would show to any victim of any crime. It doesn't matter what side of the courtroom they were seated on. At the end of the day, 2 members of that family were brutally murdered, and we have to recognize